Good morning, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today I am aging photographs. So I thought I'd bring you along and you could join in if you liked. A little while ago, Tracie Fox did a little episode on real aging. So, you know, where we take a digital kit often and we just use it as it's printed. We just fold it in half and put it into a book, or we take something like this and we just cut out the squares and stick them in, maybe with a little bit of ink around the edge. But we don't often play with our digital kits and actually make them more aged. So I've brought you along today. I'm doing these photographs I thought you might like to see, maybe have a go yourself. So first of all, I've got clear PVA. This comes from the works, and this big bottle was just £4. And in my, I've stuck my arm in the glue now, in my pot you can see this is brown. Now all it is the clear PVA, 50%, maybe 60, and then water, and then literally 2 drops of the Tim Holtz Distress ink. Okay, now this is the ink that you would normally use to re-ink your pad with. So I've just put a couple of drops in there and I'll show you what a difference it makes. This is just a plain white piece of copier paper, and you can see, if I do the middle there, that it actually puts a slight aged colour. Okay, so this one is still a little bit damp, so I'm going to carefully move that one out of the way. So what I had as part of one of my digital kits was this page of vintage photographs. Now obviously you can cut these out and just use them. You can make them into cabinet cards, you can cut, you know, circles, so you've got the peepholes, all those kinds of things. But what I'm doing today is I am using the back of a napkin to age it up even further. So I'm going to put a coat of my tinted glue over, and I'm not cutting them out individually because I feel that it's just easier to do them as a mass make, as it were, and use the whole sheet as one. You'll see it's starting to curl up. Don't worry too much about that. Make sure it's all got a really good covering. So we've already added a little extra colour because the glue's tinted. And then I'm going to literally just pick up my napkin and put it, I dropped it too soon there, onto my glued photographs, like so. It's real technical stuff, this, you know. it's really easy, but it just gives, in my opinion, a really good effect, because you get these crumpled up bits of napkin on it and it just ages it even further. Because you can see you start to get the crease lines, and they just obviously add age. I've got extra tint, look, in my brush, so that one's got some age there. Extra freebie, as it were. And I'm just going over and I'm making sure that all of the napkin that's now on top of the photos has got glue on it. Don't worry about being too liberal. You can't really put too much on. And I'm not necessarily brushing all the time. Sometimes I'm stippling this, jumping up and down with the brush, because that, you see all those lovely cracks that's created? It's almost like an old oil painting now. Right, that's Boo moving around now, so I do apologise Here she comes clumping down the stairs in a minute, starts barking, make some of you jump. You see all those lovely cracks that are appearing? Now obviously there's a lot of moisture on this now, so it is going to need some time to dry. There you go. I think that's all covered. Just like that. Try and hold it up a bit closer to the camera so that you can maybe see a little bit better. I've got to move it anyway. You see all those lovely cracks, I hope the camera's picking them up, that have been created, and there's the extra colour here. Okay, now as I say, that's got a lot of moisture on it, so that is going to need to dry. So I'm going to set that aside. But here, as if by magic, sorry about the dog, is one that I did earlier, and this one is completely dry. Now you can see that it started to curl up, and you can also see some errors, so that's always a good thing, I think. You can see here where there's a little bit too much fold, and you can hear the difference to a normal print. There's a bit too much fold there, and here you can see where I overbrushed and took some of the napkin off. You can actually see the original photo underneath. Because of what we're doing, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Just be careful of that. And you can see there's a little bit more down here as well. Okay, so now I'm going to cut them out and work on them as it were individually. You can see I've already done that one, which is the one that I showed you at the beginning. So I'm literally just going to snip up the middle. And of course, the napkin and the glue has made this paper that much thicker, which is always good. I'm going to trim it right close now. We only want the image. We don't want any of that white or any of the excess napkin. Trim it all the way round. And obviously if you want it smaller for whatever reason, this is your chance to make it smaller. Okay. So there's the picture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my distress ink. Now this is walnut stain that I'm using, but obviously whatever you have to hand is fine. And I'm literally going to just rub it over. And can you see? That looks really dark and grungy now. You can hardly see the picture. But wait for the magic. The magic is that when we go back in with our glue, it becomes glossy and clearer. I've got a bit too much glue on that. I'm just going to take some of that off. There we go. Now I've got to try and pick it up. That's the only trouble. Right, there we go. Can you see? And that is now, in my opinion, a really pretty aged photograph. So again, set him aside to dry. And I'm just going to carry on going. You could, if you wanted to, I suppose, let's try and do the whole lot in one. I don't see why not, really, actually. Obviously, I'm going very lightly with my pads, the ink pads. I don't want to press down on it too much. And you can see I'm going in both directions. There we go. Now obviously the walnut stain that I've just used is a particularly dark one. If you think that makes it too dark, then obviously you can use Vintage Photo or one of the others that is slightly paler. I just like, yeah, you can do all at once. Look, of course you can. I just like the way the walnut stain looks on it. But, you know, we're all different. That's what makes the world go round. So now, not only have we got these beautiful, well I think they are, extra aged images, but our paper is very, very much stronger. They will, when they dry, can't quite pick it up, they will, when they dry, be almost like cardboard now. Look at those. So there you go. Very quick, very simple, little project to give you much more realistically aged photos than initially came in your digital kit. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for having me in your home as always. Stay safe and I'll see you again soon.